As I say, if you have any questions or comments, please drop them in to the chat. And the last but not least is basically, how should I grow a business? Okay, back to the blue. Actually, how should I grow? And the reason why I say should is because this varies day by day for lots of different people. And it's something that you always have to keep in mind, but it's a valid question. And actually, it's a funny one because it's different for every single person in the world. Everyone's business is at a different phase. And what's really important is to really understand where you are before you decide to do something else next. One of the mistakes that a lot of people make is that they have their core business and they might feel that they're trying to bring in new revenue streams and do all this exciting new stuff, which again, we cover in the course. But the truth is, they haven't maximized the basics first. The first one is maximize what you have. So if you have a core market, I'm going to pick, say you're a recruitment company in the northeast of England. You might have a pool of customers, which is, you've got 200 customers. I'm pretty sure in the northeast of England, there is something in the region of 42,000 businesses. And the challenge you have is that when you actually whittle down your core market, rather than trying to chase customers in London or Manchester or wherever, really kind of maximize and make the most of what you have. In the book, we actually call this one jump, not two, and it's how you can diversify your business with reduced risk. But it's one of those core things that actually, if there's a core group of people that you can support, try and maximize that before you try and do new stuff. And that's always the thing that you should do first, and exhaust every avenue before you put time and resource into developing new products, that kind of thing. The second one is about gain feedback. One of the most valuable things you can ever do is actually say to your existing target market, so your existing customers, is there anything else that we could do to help? What other challenges do you have in the business? Is there anything that you would like to buy or that we can provide that we don't currently do? And actually just gaining feedback on your core business, that your core client might have a problem which you can solve, and we can get quite clever about how we do that. But actually just gaining feedback from your core market to say, look, is there anything else that we can do for you? It's a really, really valuable kind of ask. And then last but not least, is relating to the last point, is actually all to do with either bolt-ons. So that's when you add on something to your core existing business, something extra. You can cross-sell. So again, cross-sell different services into the same customer. So you as a business might have 5 different product offerings. Customer A only buys 2 of them. Could you sell the other 3? And it's a really good kind of way to do it. And then last but not least is actually upsell. So the customers that you currently have that might do £1,000 a month with you or £10,000 a month, can you actually increase that to 12 to 13, whichever? And all of these things almost in this order, but again, they all kind of relate, is the first thing to consider before you start to chase new, sexy, exciting things. In my chat with Paul Lancaster yesterday, we spoke about how it's really important to maintain focus. So there will always be shiny new things to hit. In one of my past interviews, there was a guy called Chris Payton who said, when you've got a new hammer, a shiny new hammer, everything looks like a nail. And the idea being, people often get bored, and it gets to a certain point where you think, oh, I want to do something new, I want to try something completely different. When actually, from a purely business point of view, if you just focus on the basics, focus on, how do you maximize what you've got? How can you get customer feedback and then actually cross-sell and upsell your existing customers? That's probably the most important thing to do. And again, once you have that, then, and you've maximized that and you've got a really good market share and you've kind of done the best you really feel you can with that, then we can look at diversifying into new geographies or sectors or whichever. And again, we cover that in the textbook. But the idea is most people for most businesses rarely nail the basics and then kind of move forward.